Hello Pisces, it's November 2023. This is your reading. If you are Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or I know many of you are like 3 or 4 planets in Pisces, and I am joining you as a fellow Pisces. We are looking at everything. It's a Pisces reading though. Where we're going, we don't need like an agenda. We just get on and look at the cards, don't we, Pisces? That is the kaleidoscope that is Pisces. Leave me a comment, tell me the best bit of being a Pisces. And I'm going to see if I agree. Don't know what I think it is yet, but I'll have a think and then I'll have a look at your comments. Okay, Pisces, I'm going to take 2 cards that give us the overall energy for November. We hit the ground running. Oh, hello. Dropped on the floor. We hit the ground running because we've got a eclipse. Oh, nice. We've got an eclipse in Taurus, a lunar eclipse on the 28th of October. So as we kind of skedaddle into November, nice, we've got the 2 of Cups. Hey up, Pisces. We've had some very difficult readings lately. They've been weird. It's like Pisces have been on some kind of, I want to say like growth mission. But you know how spiritual growth is often an absolute pain in the backside. It's not, you know, it's not unicorns and glitter and butterflies, is it? It's kind of ugly. It's kind of like labouring. You know, like labouring when you have a baby or labouring when you're digging something. We've been like, you know, like that. Getting the work done. And you know, one thing I do know about Pisceans is we're not awful keen on labouring on things that require loads of stamina. Not really our way, is it? It's more kind of like, I'll float around in this atmosphere until the answer comes to me and I'll be a channel for everyone else. You know what I mean. Leave me a comment, let me know anyway. But we get the 2 of Cups. Venus in Cancer, and we're going to lay claim to that. And why wouldn't we? Because it's a really nice card. We are not going to kick it out of bed for eating Whatsits ever. Pisces, this is a romantic card. It's a love card. It's a card of union. 2 people embracing, exchanging cups underneath this gorgeous pink blossom. I love me a pink blossom. They come out in the UK around April. And it's just the first sign that spring is actually making it off the, you know, whatever they call the blocks, off the blocks. And you think, oh, there is hope, you know, after all that slush and horrible sort of snowdrops that don't quite come up and all that sort of stuff. Here it is. So this could be love coming into your life. This can be friendship. This can be a really good partnership at work, but mostly it is a romantic card. It's to do with feelings. Now, this is funny. You know how Pisces has 2 fish moving in opposite directions like this? Yep. Now, we also get as the overall energy card the 9 of Pentacles, which is what you call the single happy person card. I know, Pisces is a sign of duality and contrast. Somehow, both of these things are true. Now, as a Pisces, you probably won't have any trouble with grey areas because Pisces lives in grey areas. And also, I would say, Pisces isn't happy always living in a grey area. I think if you look at a fish and you see those ones like when there's a shoal and they swim and then they turn and the light catches the scales and it goes all of those different colours. That's how Pisces sees things or the truth. Not a grey area, but actually a silver, I was going to say hallucinogenic, whatever the word is, holographic. Yes. Pisces sees a series of truths as if they are holograms glinting on a fish's side, okay? I know, we're weird. I wouldn't do this reading for anyone else because they'd be like, that woman's nuts, I'm switching over. Okay, so I'm going to explore the 2 of Cups. Because it's such a juicy card, I can't leave it alone, really. There will be an extended reading. I never remember to say that. There will be an extended reading. If this really resonates with you, when we get to the end of the reading, it will be the first link in the description box. And there we talk about love some more. and we clarify what's been going on in this reading, and we do some weirdo channeling that is very Piscean. Okay, what do we need to know, please, about Two of Cups? Because I think a lot of Pisceans have been going through it in the love life in the last 6 months. So tell us what we need to know, please. Nice. Oh, it's that one. Okay, two very, I would say, quite yin cards. We get Temperance. Now, Temperance is Sagittarius, so it could be that, and it's a very good match for you, Sagittarius. It could be there's a Sagittarius in the offing, or there's already a Sagittarius in your life. It's also Temperance. It's taking two jugs and they're like pouring together, and it's almost like one of the jugs is blue and one of the, it's like water and fire, okay? It's again duality and two contrasting things. But I would say in Temperance, normally they're being mixed into one like this. It's taking the negative and the positive and not ruling out either of them. I would say, Pisces, and this is a bit of a weird message, but I have a feeling it's going to be a bit of a weird reading. I would say that you, how can I put this? You're in a situation which has both good and bad in it, and you know that, okay? And somehow you need to synthesize the positive and the negative of this situation. And they come together in this one stream, which will give you an opener to a situation. So it may be that you're already in a relationship, in which case there's positives and there's negatives, and you can't rule either of them out at the moment, okay? You need to sort of play with those energies and see where they take you. And that could be something you do alongside your person or on your own, okay? You may be at the moment fretting over somebody, fretting over a relationship with somebody, or cross-watching for a Pisces. Good luck with that. Anyway, all Pisceans snickering into their hand there. Put a fish in the comments if you know what I mean. With this Temperance thing, it's easy for Pisces, okay? So whatever your situation, if you're in a situationship or you're in some kind of ship where you don't know where you stand with somebody or you don't know where it is, at the moment, you don't try and make it clear. You take the doubt and you take the certainty and you just keep playing. It's like when you're a kid, you know, and you're standing on a chair and you're playing in the sink, and you get, if you're a Pisces, you probably emptied all of the fairy liquid out so you could see all of the bubbles and get all of the rainbows, and made a massive mess and got really lost in a land of fantasy. You need to do that with your approach to relationships this month. You need to be very open. And also, it's the second time I have mentioned this iridescence, this, I always want to say hallucinogenic, but it's not. This changing of colour. You know, like you get on bubbles from fairy liquid. There's something in your situation which glints and gleams with possibility, but could quite easily be brought down with the wrong move. And you know this. I think it feels, I'm getting channeled like a fragile Fabergé egg, okay? It feels like just the wrong move could go kink, and this whole thing would break into beautiful shattered pieces. That may have already happened. Some Pisces have been really going through it for the last 6 months to a year or so, and having some realities kind of brought to bear that they perhaps would rather not have had. The other card you get with Temperance is the Four of Swords. Stability and peace. Pisces, you need to be making peace with, this is so weird as well. You need to make peace with not knowing. Make peace with the mystery, because it's your best friend in this situation. What I think is going to happen here is that the eclipse at the end of October has kicked off it's just kicked the bucket, it's kicked something over, and now everything's out there and everyone can see everything for what it is. And the Pisces is just standing by and going, ooh, okay, yeah, I'll observe. I'm going to be an observant fish. Because, and I'm going to take a couple more cards actually. What is working against us in this, please? What's the difficulty? Oof. Well, that couldn't come out quick enough. That card just shot out. It's like, boof. I'll tell you. Oh, hello. Okay. Queen of Wands. With the King of Cups. Different things for different people. For some of you, that is your person. You are involved or something, whatever it is, with somebody who is quite emotionally, I don't know, they're quite emotional in lots of ways. They may be a singer, a writer, a poet, any of that kind of thing. They seem to have, they're a bit mysterious. You know, they seem like they might be a little bit unavailable. You know, they're mysterious because they're on the edge of you ever catching them, or your ships that kind of have passed in the night or something like that. That's for some of you. And the Queen of Wands in that scenario can be somebody else. It can be an ex or a third party or just somebody else. And I don't know why, but I know for me, the Queen of Wands can sometimes be my third party card. Okay, if it is, it's usually someone you already know about. She's not the surprise third party. That is the Queen of Cups for me. There you go. For others of you, there is somebody maybe you've got your eye on or you're already involved with. You need to be, or you will get to a situation, not yet. You will get to a situation around the 17th plus of November where you need to step it up a notch and bring some fire to the situation. Now, this has come in a few times recently about the fire. Because Pisces is a real water sign. I would argue that Pisces is the most water of all of the water signs, like the most watery. Just the case. I mean, you're a fish, for God's sake, so am I. For some of us, we need to bring some fire to bear, and that means probably boundaries and being present and being radical self-love and making sure that we are being very clear, which is difficult for Pisceans. Pisceans are a kaleidoscope of feelings that change every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year. And then normally Pisceans don't even believe in like time as being linear anyway. So it's like, I know. So for some of us, well, for all of us actually, whether this is a third party or whether it's us needing to step up a bit, we need to step up a bit from about the second half of November onwards. There's going to be a call to action for Pisces. Oh gosh. Yes. No, not that one. That one. Yeah, here we go. Let's get into it. 8 of Cups. Eclipse. Saturn in Pisces. Saturn is in Pisces at the moment and for another probably 18 months, I think, roughly, something like that. When Saturn's in Pisces, let me know in the comment section what you think. Everything is so worthy. Everything is so do it the right way. You know, do a health and safety check before you move forwards. Don't take any unnecessary risks, all that kind of stuff. It's all very unspontaneous and not very Piscean. But I've learned, you know, in my decades that when Saturn moves into Pisces, which is normally for about 2.5 years at a time. You just have to suck it up. There's nothing you can do. And if you try and kind of get by, you know, by the seat of your pants, normally that works, but not while Saturn's in Pisces. So Saturn is all about boundaries, drawing lines, and worthiness, being what you're worth, letting others know what you're worth, and living the life of what you're worth. Which, for a Piscean, let me know in the comments section, but I'll bet in younger years, and maybe still now, Pisceans can be taken advantage of in relationships. Now, I'm not into whose fault that is, you know, because I think fault is an extremely unhelpful concept, which is very Piscean of me to say, but it just works out that way, that Pisces has a lot of sacrifice in their kind of makeup for some reason. And Pisces is always willing to be the human bridge. You know, like when you hear of people who make a human bridge so other survivors can walk over them to get to freedom. And then sometimes the person who's the bridge doesn't make it. But Pisces is very like that. And especially a Pisces that has that whole broken bird thing. You know, mummy, can I, you know, take this dilapidated, broken, half-dead bird? Yes, dear, you know, let's put it in a tissue box and I'll pretend it isn't dead in the morning. It's that kind of thing. We bring that to bear on our personal relationships. And in the wrong hands, yeah. So Pisces, this 8 of Cups is saying, is there anybody around you? And it doesn't even have to be romantic. Is there anybody in your life? And there will be, because there always is. There's always a crew around Pisces one way or another, okay? But think of yourself more now as the ship's captain, okay? And we have 2 cups remaining, but we have, is it 2 cups? Yeah, 6 cups down and 2 remaining. Now, it could also be that the 6 of Cups is involved here because we've got 6 cups down. And the 6 of Cups is about longing and childhood sweethearts. And also, for me, it's about fated soul contracts and sort of contracts of romance. You know, like when you're involved with somebody and there's a lot of magic around it, but you can't quite work out whether it's positive or negative. It's just magic. So, 8 of Cups is somebody who recognizes the cups. There's love in the cups too, but they love themselves more. And so they take this lonely, and it is a lonely walk. That does not look like, you know, you're skipping by with your tartan flask and you pack up lunch, does it? This is real sort of scraggy cloak and stick. You're moving towards the dawn, which is always good in a tarot card. You want dawn to be breaking over the horizon. There is a new day and you're moving towards the dawn, or it could be the sunset actually. Could be both if you're a Piscean, makes no difference. But you're moving away from negative influences. Difficult situations, anything that you don't actually deserve. That is a difficult one for Pisces, the 8 of Cups, but I do like to see it there. I really do, because it means that you are taking best care of yourself, which is very important. Then we have the 8 of Swords, and this also stands in your way a little bit. You could be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius here, or a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Here we have the air sign. I think it's a Gemini card, the 8 of Swords. But either way, this is where you bump up against your own limitations. Pisces, the only difficulty or possible thorn in the side here is you and your own limitations. Pisceans, while having quite a zany confidence, also sometimes lack self-esteem, or if it's not self-esteem, Pisceans can lack identity. Like you don't have a clear picture of your own identity, which means that others can move around in that, and you don't know where your own, you know, if you were a map, whatever the line is, you know, that says where a country, one country ends and another country begins, Pisces would smudge that line. We're like, well, how are we going? We don't need lines. We're all in this together. You might be Pisces, but the other person might not. We don't know, okay? So be open-minded. We've got the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups is a lovely card, but it came up with the Nine of Pentacles. And it's saying, keep a sense of your own identity, whatever is going on, especially if you've had trouble with that before. But also there is a way that you can share yourself in an equal relationship, which is really nice. But then we get Temperance coming up, saying there will be good and bad in this situation and you need to balance it. Oh, I'm liking this though. King of Pentacles has just popped out. King of Pentacles is my favourite king. He's my favourite king because he represents fidelity, and he represents the gold, and he represents turning up. Got a fabulous beard as well, not to be sniffed at there. And he's reliable. He's really consistent. If this was a partner, it's marriage material, you know. So for some of you, the King of Pentacles can represent money. It can represent getting a good job, finding a source of making money. I mean, Pisceans have tons of different sources of making money. They're all a bit eccentric. It's somebody who's on your side. It's kind of like a bank manager, an investor, somebody who is close to you that's going to headhunt you or give you a leg up. In romantic situations, it's somebody who shows up for you with consistency and care. Nice. That's the right direction, isn't it? Now, it might be for some of you that the Queen of Wands, that this person is divorced, but they've got a nightmare of an ex. It could be that. With the Queen of Wands, it can mean that. You will know. Oof. Hey up. And then we get Judgment. Pisces, for some of you, as with all Pisceans at all times, there is an element of the past here. Judgment is a card of the past. It's back to the future. It's Six of Cups is lolling around. Maybe that's going to come up in the extended. I don't know. But it's out there, you know. That feeling is out there. There's a feeling of something fated. Ooh. Knight of Cups. I love the Knight of Cups for this. Pisces, who is this? Well, Knight of Cups is somebody, I love that connection with the Knight of Cups and the King of Pentacles, just getting my love cards out, because this is a real decent offer. Knight of Cups shows up when somebody is actually showing up. Somebody could be showing up for you. Now with Judgment there and the Eight of Cups as well, this could be an ex, somebody you've had a breakup with, could be showing up for you. But it can also be with the King of Pentacles, a new person. I like this. Either way, who cares? It's all good. Shall we have a love card, Pisces? Yes, Belinda Grace love cards. In the extended, I'm going to do a whole new love reading as well. I'm going to clarify a couple of these cards, like the Two of Cups, King of Pentacles, Judgment, Knight of Cups. But I'm also going to take a different deck. I'm going to use a different deck and do a love reading as well, because I think there's a lot more to know. Pisces. Gosh. Okay. Hang on. Because of YouTube, I have to put my fingers there. Okay. So this is sensual freedom, if you know what I mean. And alongside that, connection. Pisces. If you haven't already, and if you're single especially, put yourself out there in November. because this is a lovely reading. Everybody will want this reading. And if you're already involved with somebody, this looks very positive for me. There's a real connection. You could dig much deeper and find either an original connection or just a real connection with somebody. I'm going to go and do the extended. I'm just going to probably use my sparkly cards for that. That's the first link in the description box. Otherwise, leave me a comment and let me know about your situation and the best thing about being a Pisces, and drop a fish and let me know your other astrology, like your moon and your rising, because that's always interesting. And I'll see you on the other side. Namaste.